We've talked about HP Financial Services' success over the last number of years. What interests me about that is the fact that when you get to a certain level, you have top performers. How do you then continue to keep them motivated to keep reaching and going beyond the levels of success that they've already achieved?
Right. So, well, one thing is, the world is changing and at a more rapid pace all the time. And that's enough of a challenge to try to keep pace with that, if not keep ahead of it. But I would sort of modify the question a little bit and say, if you've achieved a high level of performance, how do you stay at that high level first? How do you avoid complacency? The old saying, I've been rich and I've been poor and rich is better. I think that's the first challenge. And you can talk all you want and conceptualize all you want about avoiding complacency, but until you have a tough quarter or two, sometimes you need that kind of wake-up call. But that said, I don't think you can really motivate people to get to the next level based on quantitative objectives. So the difference between 400 million and 420 million in net income is not enough to get too many people excited. I think that's when you have to start to look for psychic income. So are you leading the kind of company that's a great place to work? Are you leading the kind of company that's admired? Are you leading the kind of company that's emulated by your competitors? Do you feel like you've really done some good? It's those kinds of psychic income things that I think you need to stress as much as getting to the next level of net income. And if you do, you're more likely to get people a little bit more emotionally bought in.
You talked about complacency there, and that's something that in a previous interview you had attributed some of your own success to believing that you're always in a position of having to prove yourself.
Yes.
How is it that some leaders seem to lose sight of that? And what can they do to defend against it and maintain that perspective about having to prove oneself?
Well, I think it was Satchel Paige, that great American philosopher, said, never look over your shoulder, somebody might be gaining on you. And of course his point was, someone's always trying to be gaining on you. So you have to keep that in mind to begin with. You have to keep in mind where you were and what it took to get you from there to here. And then I think the other thing, and some people aren't good at this, but I think the other thing you need to realize is that it does take a village, so to speak. If your organization is successful, that's typically the result of significant effort and an achievement on the part of a whole team of people. You're just the person sitting in the corner office, gaining most of the accolades. And you may be providing good leadership for that and putting people in a position to win. But at the same time, you really do have to keep in mind that no one person can do it all, and that everyone else who achieves is as much responsible for the success of the organization as you are.